Hey everybody, Maddox here, and welcome back to the Poke Historian, particularly one of my fireside chat episodes. I've noticed the last couple ones of these market talks, so to speak, that I've done have been pretty popular, and I'm having fun shooting them, so I'm going to keep talking about stuff that's going on in the Pokemon market, interesting cards that are coming out, just thoughts about the hobby in general as I go along with this YouTube channel, and we'll just kind of see where we go. So for today's topic, I want to talk about something that's probably been on a lot of people's minds lately, and that is the topic of when to sell your Pokemon cards. So, as many of you probably know, if you look on TCG Player, you look at the eBay most recently sold listings, we're kind of at a point where it seems like almost every single Pokemon card that has any type of mild popularity is up in value. You know, it's the kind of thing where I look at these cards, and it's funny for me, I'll look back and I'll be like, wow, I was really smart picking up this card. You know, I must be really good at this whole Pokemon hobby thing. Look how much it's grown. But the truth of it is, like, you could have bet on almost anything and you'd be up right now. I mean, almost every single card is doing well. And a lot of the Scarlet and Violet stuff, of course, is doing very well. But I mean, Sun and Moon's doing very well, Sword and Shield. And I don't think a lot of people have picked up on this yet, but Vintage is really starting to move too. So it's like every single thing is up. And we've seen this before. We saw this during COVID, and it makes you think, okay, at what point here should I consider maybe selling some of my cards? Do I want to sell any of my cards? Because some of these cards, the prices that they have hit now likely will not be sustainable long term. And I'm not saying all of them, okay? I know that there are a lot of cards that are very popular and they're going to continue to grow over time. I just did a video about, how to pick out which cards to buy and when to buy them and everything. But this is a little bit different. Like, not only are the chase cards up, but the lesser popular cards are up too. So, I mean, that just tells you the frenzy that we're in right now at the Pokemon market. It's a feeding frenzy all across the board. It doesn't even have to be that great of a product. I mean, you go to a store right now, you go to Target, Walmart, any type of big box store, even your local card stores, I mean, they got nothing most of these places. And even sets that weren't even popular get bought up. Like, for example, Shrouded Fables wasn't that popular, and now all of a sudden everyone's buying up that too. So what do you do with this market? One thing you might want to consider doing is actually selling some of your cards. And I'm not saying you should sell all of them. I think what you should do is you should look at your long-term goals for yourself, for your family, and think about, okay, I have made a lot of money off this particular Pokemon card or this group of cards. And maybe I'm not even that big of a fan of it. So what could I do with this money? What could I do with this money to benefit my future, to benefit my family, to benefit my goals in life? There are times when you have to kind of sit down and really think about those type of questions. And I think, I'm not going to say we're at a market top right now. I don't really know. I don't know how long this is going to last. But like I said, I can tell you everything is up, and it's the goodest time as any to really think about that. And so when do I want to go ahead and maybe put this money somewhere else? Maybe even diversify my investment opportunities. And I think this is as good a time as any to do it, because you have to remember with this Pokemon card market, I know it's crazy right now. I've sold a few cards online myself, things that I wasn't really interested in keeping long term. And it's incredible how quickly things get bought up, but you have to remember it's not always that way. It's not always you can just flip a card on eBay and it sells in like 5 minutes. It's insane. That's not going to last forever. And the prices on some of these cards aren't going to last forever too. So if there's something you're looking to sell and you're not real crazy about the card, like I said, you've got other goals, I don't think it would be a bad move to go ahead and do it right now. I really don't. Because these type of markets where things move like this do not come along every day. For example, for myself, I'm thinking about getting a house probably later this year. I've been putting money away and kind of building up a fund to go ahead and, get my down payment and pay closing costs and all that kind of good stuff. So I've actually been selling some cards too, because put it this way, I'm not going to sell a lot of my Grail cards. A lot of the cards you've seen in my videos, I'm not going to sell. A couple of them I have sold over the years. Like, some of my videos go back to 3 years. But for the most part, I'm keeping most of the cards I like. But I've got copies of cards, like doubles of them that I don't want. I've got cards I pulled out of packs I'm not too crazy about, and I've sold those. And I don't think there's anything wrong with taking a little bit of profit. But like I said, just make sure you have a plan for how you're going to use that money. If the plan is to just put that money in your savings account and just hold it and then buy back into the market later on, the Pokemon card market in particular, I think that may not be the best use of your money because we don't really know where these markets are going to go. I do think at some point the markets are going to go down, and they're probably going to go down significantly. But as far as each individual card and how far it goes down, nobody can really say. So you might be thinking like, oh, well, I'm gonna sell this card and then I'll buy back in later, when it goes down. There's a real chance you might not be able to do that depending on what the card is. You just don't know. I mean, you get a card like the Magic card that's real popular right now that I did a video on, or the new Bubble Mew, the blue one. Those cards have been seeing a lot of growth, and it's been very consistent and strong. And for the most part, it looks like unmanipulated based on patterns. You sell that card, you might not be able to buy back in. So you have to keep that in mind too. But hey, I mean, life happens. There are things that are more important than these cards, as much as I love them, and I'm sure as much as you love them. So those are just choices you have to make in life. And no matter what you decide to do, you just got to think about, like I said, what's best for you and your family and your future. And that's all I have to say about this. So give it some thought. I'm selling a few things here, and maybe you might want to too. Talk to you later. Like and subscribe if you like this content.